but I don't know. How do you hold a key? Oh, the stream went down. Oh, what? Oops. You didn't miss much. Oh, it totally is the art book for Hisnome Masatan. That's awesome. Yeah, it's great. So cool. Yeah, I figure I like the fist shape. It implies holding something, but it's just like a powerful. But then being like open also kind of fits that confidence. The point is that this character is brave. I need to remember that. I need to make sure that that's part of the design. I have browsed everything under the artbook tag. It's actually a really good point. I have forgotten to go there for looking for art books. What an enlightening experience. Maybe some kind of knuckle duster. Yeah, that'd be cool. Nothing. Something says bravery, like carrying a weapon around. Well, that's the thing. If anything, it should be the opposite. So I go there looking for other things. No, I just haven't for ages. I remember it was linked through something on 4chan. I think it was just the art book. Like there's a thread which was just a list of places you could find art books of specific things. I think people were asking for specific art books. I know a bunch of them linked to those galleries, that gallery archive. And so I was like, oh shit, that's cool. That's a great place to find. Or at least to check. Like if I'm looking for something specific, I'll search there first, that kind of thing. But I have since forgotten to completely. I can't remember where it was, but the last art book I was looking through was the Kill la Kill one, which I have frequented multiple times just because it's fantastic. I shitpost and IC, I bet. Now I don't. I really don't frequent 4chan at all. Is that critique? I forget. It is, yeah. Okay, so that's just my art has been posted there, along with things being like, "This guy's this age. You guys should all hurry up," or whatever. Or I don't know, something to that effect. There was an amusing comment from someone, which has remained a joke within my friend group, which is "study your fundies, weep shits." It's just fun. It's a good, funny comment. It's gonna stick with me for a long time. It was fun though, because like, you know, you get a bunch of people there that are kind of like going like, oh, like I have such like a broad knowledge of artists and stuff, and then they like, someone's like, oh yeah, go on, list it, and they're like, Roger and Anthony Jones. Yeah. And there's the things like, yeah, so like this person's not even close to like the Rongier level or things like that. I'm like, well, that's true. that's very true. What does it have to do with this conversation? Anyway, it was very fun to read through. I don't like the fact that it exists though, because it's causing people grief. But then again, if they're sitting on IC and arguing about other people's work, then I can't have too much sympathy because they're just clearly not in the right mindset. At least not if they're trying to improve. But it's amusing nonetheless. Why don't you study your fundies when you get the Attack on Titan manga? Oh, when you don't study your fundies, you get the Attack on Titan manga. I haven't actually read any of it. I've seen it. I finally got around to watching it all. I don't know what it's like. Is the artwork a bit odd? I mean, I like the way that they twist the anatomy for the Titans and make it all bizarre looking. I think that works really well. Kaku kaku shikajika. The art in the manga is off, yeah. I mean, it's a great example of where the premise is just like the thing that's really, really strong, and that's what made it like a target for adaptation, and also what made it so popular to begin with. And so, with a talented animation department, they could make a really good, or very, very appealing show. I really enjoyed it. I liked the latter episodes a lot because they reveal a lot of stuff happens. It's cool. Goes in some weird directions. It's good. One of those shows where the more you reveal, the more it loses. Yeah, I think so. Especially when it sort of becomes about like, it feels less like it's such a big thing when it becomes about families and like interpersonal relationships and stuff, or interpersonal feuds between the royals and whatevers. But yeah, it's like, I guess what would you prefer? Like you get both this way because you enjoy the mystery as it remains a mystery, and then you basically have the choice to leave it that way or to find out how it concludes. I think it's a problem that most stories must face at some point. Anything that's got a mystery base is like, do I explain this? Because it will be satisfying for some, it will spoil the illusion of mystery for others. Well, not the illusion of mystery, it'll just spoil the fact that it was a mystery, but yeah, I don't know. What we're going to do? We're going to do a key. We're going to hold them holding a key. I feel like this pose just feels perfect for like a sacrificial dagger. Doesn't it look right? It looks right, you know? Shichido. Kobayashi. Still haven't seen you, no. I was going to, and then I didn't get around to it. Boop. Oh yeah, that's lovely. I really like grand structures like that. Haven't done big environment pieces like that for a while though. Oh, what layer am I on? I'm really stuck. I'm not sure what's gonna work. Like a key box. could have the hand kind of in a pose it's holding stuff. I like the idea of a little box that turns into a key. Like it can be kind of like this, and a little like key thing that protrudes from it. Windy Tales. Oh, that looks fabulous. You aspire to be an information peddler. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to start like just clicking on links and getting to everything later. I've got to finish this stuff. Buckle down, focus, find the solution. If I can make the knuckle dusters interesting enough, then it can make it more like a focal point. The knuckle dusters could be little boxes. Focus and talking are things that you are not capable of. It's certainly tough. I mean, I'm assuming you mean focus and talking at the same time. Or just talking. Typing's fine. Opening mouth, making words, no. Not good. Cannot do. Multitasking is lie. Cannot do. Alright, I need to have the second joint in here. Yeah, there we go. Nah, it can't be knuckle dusters. It just doesn't fit the character. What should the key look like? What sort of motifs should it have? It could be like this makes sense. Is that clever? Is that big brain? I think it's pretty big brain. Because on the other end, It's the open eye. Oh my god. Dun dun dun. It does, but like... Tycoon, a key and a spoon. Hold on, wait, is that a sensitive word? I actually can't remember. should I be careful with that? Is that with a C, but pronounced the same? Yeah, I didn't think about that. Brain wasn't fast enough. God damn it, setting me traps. A keyring with too many keys attached. You can struggle to figure out what they even unlock. Context is everything. Indeed, but still. Anyway, we could do that. That'd be pretty cool. I feel like this just needs to be bigger, but... I feel like then being a keymaster doesn't make too much sense. Maybe it does, maybe it's like unlocking the true meaning behind stuff, that kind of idea. What's brave about a key? You're gonna peace out. It was great seeing your work and catching up. See ya, dude. Thanks for joining. Yeah, what is brave about a key? I don't know. Does depend on the door. That's a very good point. A locked door with blood under it. Tell me it's brave now. Such a strong hand for a tiny body. Yeah, exactly. I want it to look like, you know, strength. Strength that's been built up beyond what you'd expect. Or just the idea of a strength that is beyond what you'd expect. Because I feel like that's what brave feels like. So basically, in the lineup, what I would do is I would switch out what I've got here with the key. I would turn that into a hand. Let me show you how. She would be here. And my thoughts are that I basically want them to be like leaning on the leader for support. This kind of thing. And the idea is just that insight combined with total oversight gives you close to omniscience. And that's the point. That's the whole sort of like idea with their placement in the scene. So that's why it doesn't matter too much what I have in that hand. I don't want it to be part of the pose. Maybe being kind of cyberpunky, I could give them some sort of glove that like obviously has enhanced like sense mechanics on it. Something which is like yeah, clearly enhancing the sensory capabilities. A power glove. Yeah. And then that would make sense in how it's used. I think that could work. I think I like that. In fact, that makes the most sense of everything. And I would just have it open so that you can like see the fingertips. Sorry, yawning. And I could do a foreshortening with the thumb here. Could be quite cool. And there's the rest of the hand, and then I will have... a synesthesia glove, exactly. This wall tastes like ass. Why the hell not? Yeah, I mean, our catchphrase would just be, this blank tastes like ass. I'm not entirely sure how to approach that glove. I want to give the feeling that there's like a sensory surface that's sort of separate to the rest of the glove, so I'm going to give it like this indentation sort of thing. Or like an extra layer on top, and then yeah, I think I'll do something cool with the fingertips where it's like clearly got something to make it sensitive. That's just going to trigger people's trypophobia. Let's go for circles. Pads on the end of the gloves. I've joined it up on the wrong side. That looks like the hands in the opposite. Looks like it's the left hand on the right, or the opposite around. I don't know. Thumb. I wish I was a mantis shrimp and saw every spectrum of light. Imagine the paintings they could do. I stared at a mantis shrimp in high school and had the most insane sketchbook you'd ever see. Amazing waifu, hello. Thank you so much. Job gloves. Stop! This is a wholesome stream. It's all about art. Let's not go muddying the waters. I think there must be a totally different pose I should have for the hand that's going to look a lot better. Maybe kind of like if I have the fingers sort of like this. I want some more overlap instead of just like a pure radial arrangement. So this kind of thing, maybe. But I still want that kind of like just totally opened up so that it's ready to touch a surface, ready to like get full contact with the surface. No PPE shortage in this setting. I don't remember what suits in June had for gloves. Neither do I, I'm afraid. Also, I'm probably gonna go for the middle fingers linked. It just generally looks better. Classic anime technique. Yeah, it's nice on the silhouette. Basically, it makes a group of 4 into a group of 3. Very appealing. Maybe like that. I can then have like, I could have some wires and shit coming back off it. I'm not sure how much I want to emphasize that aspect. But at least one of those like big ribbon cables that you get in your PC. I think this is good. This is good. It's all about augmenting the perception of the world. Good. I think I'm done. Fucking love cables. Hell yeah. Cables are great. Maybe we can make this one bigger. Get a nice flow. And also separate it from the arm. Oh, yeah, maybe it could go over the jacket. That could be cool. Like that shoulder piece she has on is actually there because of the glove. And then I think there needs to be like a connection here or something. Because if it goes into her blindfold, then it's hopefully that quite directly communicates the replacement of her sight. Like anything going to it touching the head is just, this is communicating information to the brain. Cool. And then specifically to her mask is communicating the replacement of sight. So I think that's good. What's this about dial-up modems? The good old middle finger trick. Exactly. Sorry, specifically middle fingers. It's okay if there's multiple. It's not offensive anymore. I was gonna look and ask how long I've been streaming for, but unfortunately, because it went down temporarily, apparently I've been streaming for half an hour. Wow, that means it's about 12 o'clock now. It's almost 3 o'clock now. Ah, shit. But what that means is that I might take a break and make some lunch or something. Because I kind of missed out on lunch. And I'm feeling a bit hungry. About 3 hours, yeah. So it must be now like 3 hours 30-ish. Which doesn't really mean anything to me. It doesn't matter how long I stream for. As long as I'm getting stuff done. Which I have done so far, but probably slower than normal. I completely forgot about the Boscus. Hey, you know the equivalent, like the human equivalent of a proboscis? It's one of those silly curly straws. I'll just give her a curly straw. No, that's my kind of silly inclusion. I like that. Big sip. Hey, you gotta type that with double P, my man. Have I ever tried to drink milkshake through one of those? No. I imagine it's too thick. What you drinking? I don't know. That's pretty brave. Thing is, they can tell what it's going to be by either putting it in their box or dipping their finger in it, dipping their gloved finger in it. So, I think they'll be okay. Alright, I'm feeling a lot better about this character now. Which is good. I did it! Let's fill up some holes and give it a silhouette. I think that's all I kind of want to add. Just checking. Yeah, all the transparency is just going to have to be in the middle. And in fact, I may just get rid of this band. I don't need that band. And I was going to go for something on the knees. Just because I like that separation. Oh, to be honest, that's quite a nice shape. Maybe I'll just keep that. It'd be nice to have something, some sort of meaning in that shape, though. Yeah, the sexy Ava needs, exactly. Related to how you're working, do you think that iterations are mostly redundant? Oh, yes. I mean, the thing is, what I could have done, if I was presenting this to a client, is every time I make a change, I save it out, or I just copy it to the side so that I can present every variation that I had. But I'm not doing it for a client. I'm trying something out and saying, I'm the client, I've seen it, I don't want it, do something else. So iterations, certainly like they presented on the page, on the brief for the challenge. It's like, hey, here's some examples of the iterations you could do. And it's like color variations or something like that. And I'm like, well, it's pointless. It's just pointless. You're the art director. Unless you really can't choose between two things and want to see what like the audience has to say about it, then there's no point in saving iterations. Like, I'm putting up things like this where I show roughly how I went through the sketches to get to the final one, because I need to show that I have explored multiple things. But if I'm looking for like iterations, what I would do is sketch out a ton of different, like very different looking characters that have significant changes between them. Because there I'm like exploring a different way to approach a different idea, but yeah, color variations or something like this, pointless. Definitely try them out so you can compare them visually, but you don't need to present them really. I think when you're looking for a scheme and you're happy with a scheme, then sure, you copy to the side. You decide how you could approach it differently. But it's like, unless you're basically torn between multiple ideas and know that you want to try another thing out, then there's no point in forcing yourself to if you're happy with what you've got. Knee pads when she's on her knees trying to work out why she dropped her keys. So cruel. I'm glad your take is sane, seeing as the mantra of how constant art should work has struck me as silly, and the lack of a clear direction. So it's mostly like I'm currently working in studio, or in a game studio, so I have like direct contact with the people that I'm making concept art for, and that way I can just discuss stuff with them and work out what I need to do and what I don't need to do. Before that, I was working at Atom Hawk, which they do outsource work. They're creative partners, but they get a brief and will then give like a lineup of stuff so that they can send it back, and the people that have asked for the brief, they can see that you've explored multiple directions. They can see what they don't want and they can see what they do want. And the problem for like there, you do need to put like variations of a subject in, because you can't go through it with them real time. And the question will always stay in their mind of like, but what if you did it this way? Unless you show them what it looks like if you do it that way, so that they can go, yeah, it doesn't look as good. So it definitely have its purpose, but in a case where you're creating something for yourself, I don't think it's necessary. You know whether it's hit the mark or not. But admittedly, what I haven't touched on yet is that you know if it's missing the mark or not, having planned out properly what you want to create. So the thing that you should do as a concept artist is the whole exploration bit. So all of this stuff, where I've been sketching out ideas, looking for that kind of thing, working out relationships, this is far more important. A character fills a role within a world. My thinking is that there's only really one right answer in deterministic senses. Yeah, possibly. And it's the right answer for you. That's the main thing. It's because you have your own aesthetic that you're going for. I guess making 20 iterations of vastly different things are good if you have a client who wants to pick something. Yeah, exactly. But your brief has to be pretty broad if you're going to make 20 different iterations that are all good and worthwhile. Like what I it's like a pet peeve, but it really doesn't matter. It's just when you see variations that are meaningless. And I feel like they're examples of the variations that they showed in the challenge brief. They felt a bit meaningless to me. It was like hair at different lengths and like a headband that was a bit shorter or something like that. And I just went, this isn't really providing much more useful information. I'll just leave those for now. They're a nice little Scooby shape, but I'm sure I can find something interesting put on them later. In your opinion, is it better to build up a portfolio? I didn't read that right. In your opinion, to build up a portfolio, is it better to build up a lot of style or genres, or to focus on a strong point? I would say focus on your strong point. And in my case, I feel like a strong point I would claim to have is that I'm adaptable and can work in different styles. So essentially that's what I've ended up showing. And it's mostly a strong point of mine because I enjoy it. I enjoy working in different styles. It's not that I force myself to go like, I'm gonna do something in the Disney style just to show that I can, in case someone wants to hire me for it, but I'd rather not. because the result of that is if someone hires you to do that type of style, you're like, oh, I don't want to spend a year or two doing this. Even if it's freelance, I don't want to spend a whole month doing this. So, yeah, don't present things that you don't want to do, even if you can do them. And then, if you have a specific thing that you're most interested in, definitely stick to that. I think it's important to show that the work you create is applicable to something else. So if your style is so set on something that's really all about messing around with abstract shapes on a 2D plane or something, then for a game that may end up with give you cool concept art for the game, but how's the modeler going to make that into a 3D asset? If your designs only look cool because you've put all these weird effects in on the 2D plane. So the main thing is you need to make sure that it's clear that what you're designing, what you're creating is useful. Yeah. Making a Star Wars Episode 1 shows a tool with too much power and no sense of direction, or put an art team through. Make me fit in mechanics. Oh no, please George, make it stop. Use slight variations to fill a page. No! It's like Mr. Potato Man for concept art. Or Mr. Potato Man concept art for morons, yeah. That's kind of funny. Being polyvalent is a hard sell for people that misconstrue it as being indecisive. I guess that's yeah, okay, sorry, I just had to Google polyvalent because I was like, I know this from science. It's the valency, like having many valence shells. Isn't that to do with the electron shells around an atom? But I'm assuming you just mean multi-talented. No? I'm curious how you're using polyvalent in that sentence. I don't have a good enough understanding of it. What I would say is a lot of the time it's just like, I wish... yeah. Multi-talented. Okay, yeah. I figured that makes sense. That's a good use of it. I like that use of it. That's good. It's just I was like, I know the scientific definition. And Googling it only gives me the scientific definition. How do I use this? Yeah. I think it really just comes down to what you like doing and what you want to do. What you want to repeat doing over and over. What you won't get tired of. That kind of thing. The other thing I was going to say, I can't remember what it was. It's gone from my head. Ah, yes, it was to do with clients and choices they make. When it comes down to like, oh, I want to see like an entire page of variations on this color. I dislike that because it's sort of like, it feels like there's no trust in the artist and their ability to choose the right color for an object. They're like, I have to see every color so I can make the right decision. And I'm like, from the artist's point of view, they're like, I designed this thing. I designed it so that it would look good with blue and white. Like, can you please just trust me on this? I designed the thing. You hired me because I'm a professional designer. Please. Please trust me. So it's fair when a client's like, oh, can I see that thing as these other specific colors? I mean, basically, the ideal is just that you're working with a client who's an art director, or at least a competent one, that will see your work and go, in my head, I can imagine this as this color. I'm the art director, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to actually do the work of making it that color myself, because typically they're very, very busy and don't have time for that kind of thing. So if they then ask, oh, can I see it in this specific color scheme instead? Totally fair. But yeah, just asking for like an abstract page of color variations, I don't know. It's like, please trust me and the fact that I designed this thing. Oh, I know why I was wrong. I was connecting the lines up wrong. Oh, my bad. Trust from Suits? Micromanaging ADs telling you to nudge things so they feel like they've had some input. Yeah. You made this? I made this. Black and blue. Ah, can you show me white and gold? That's a good one. That is a 10 out of 10. That's a 10. I liked those color schemes though. My first thought when I saw that whole meme going around, or I guess it was more of a normie thing, so news article, was I should try and do a painting with this because it would be cool. I haven't, / didn't, but it would still be interesting. I want to try and get that same effect in a painting. Because beyond literally what the colors are, like coming up with a new color scheme for me doesn't mean choosing colors that no one's put together before, because that's impossible. It's getting a different feeling from the very, very specific colors that you use, and then how much of each color you use in your image. Normies. Hey guys, did you hear Yanny or Laurel? Yanny. I actually can't remember what I heard. Yeah, I wasn't really taken by the Yanny thing. But that's fine. It was interesting because it was like a nice direct equivalent, being like, this effect exists in sound as well. My understanding of it was quite different to, because it really, for me, the interesting part was working out how both of them could happen. So in the case of the colors, it's because the context of the scene changes your perception of it. And then with the Yanny versus Laurel, it's not like something could make you switch the way that you saw it. Or I didn't get that impression. Instead, it felt more like some people basically just hear the different frequencies in the audio spectrum louder or quieter than other people. So within the sound, both words existed, sort of, in terms of their frequency representation. And it was just whether you heard those louder or quieter than the next person. And that was interesting, and it was very different, because it was far less based on like context. It was much closer to like an image which was deliberately trying to be two things at once. Do you see the old woman or the beautiful young lady in this drawing, kind of thing? And it's just, are you... You can make out both, but ultimately the one that you see, or the one you choose as being stronger in the image, which is the equivalent of I hear Yanni or I hear Laurel, is just based on your visual library or your predisposition to seeing one type of human face versus another. Amazing waifu. Mel? Language does affect your ability to see color to an extent. It's like the film Arrival. Oh yeah, that's an excellent film, and yes, because it's whether you can see, like, determine between different colors, like close colors, and how sensitive you are to the difference between them. By being able to assign a different word to each, you actually become more sensitive to seeing the difference between them. You heard Laurel. I heard Kofifi. I heard that orange is just brown, but seeing other colors around it is what makes you see orange instead of brown. Yeah, essentially. I mean, it's a vibrant brown. Brown is a desaturated orange. Which way is the dancing girl spinning? It's not really dancing. It's interesting that you see her as dancing. Maybe that's something I should address. Hey, Stephen. So nice of you to join us from the other side. Oh, he was gone as quickly as he came. That's a shame. Oh well. There's a study on Russians and their words for blue. Ah. What did you think of the dancing girl comment? I just assumed you meant this character. I don't know. I'm not reading everything. It's too fast. And I'm bad at reading. And also I read it after I've said things. So if it's response to something I've said, then I just forget what I said to make that response happen. What were you referring to with the dancing girl comment? Oh, which whiz? Yeah, I'm being silly. I do know that. I'm just... Yeah, I'm slow. Didn't make the link. Even though I was also just chucking out equivalents of answer to question that you may or may not know about. My bad. Okay. Clip. Select out the holes. I think that's them all. Invert and fill. There we go. There's our silhouette. Is it good? It'll do. Makes it clear that I need to get rid of this. Otherwise you can't tell which way the hand's pointing. Oh, that's the other reason the hand's so hard to read. It's because these cables should have a hollow space behind them. That's better. That's much better. suppose I can do the same thing with the straw. Make that look like a straw, but that's not really a problem. You're kind of sad that it sits until they see both. Yeah, I always do that. The stereoscopic images where you sat your PC crossing your eyes for 3 fucking hours. I love those. Theo Prinz, he did a bunch of really nice ones. I think they're on on DeviantArt for Guild Wars. They're excellent. I love them. I did a couple, I think. They're probably still on my DeviantArt. I really enjoy them. Ah, yeah, it was those that you started with. Brilliant. You can't make the girl spin the other way. Ah! You just gotta think harder. So the idea is, the inside of her jacket's gonna be glowing. What? Crazy, man. That's insane. I don't know, man. Body stuff. Cool. Bloop, bloop, bloop. And then... Oh, wow. The light, it is coming through the body. The outside yellow of the jacket. Yeah, I'm thinking something pretty bright. Or maybe it needs to be dark to contrast with the brightness inside, who knows. But it could be like a dark yellow. And what actually is a dark yellow? Is that also brown? Really channeling those deep-ass bioluminescent stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. Deep sea bioluminescence. Can I hear a bioluminescence? It should be cool. Pretty badass character. I like this one a lot. Dark yellow, uranium. Oh? When someone holds a hand, does the interior of her jacket go pink? Like my Chinese animes. Yes. Yes, I think the inside of her jacket should change based on her emotions. That's a really good idea. Oh, also, I think I was going to make her jacket mirrored. I think that was the plan. Because mirrors, you know? What about my aluminium? Dark yellow, drink more water. Or too much asparagus. Too much asparagus and this lady's going to start seeing the dark yellow. Are you ready for the real twist, though? This is gonna blow your guys' minds. Oh my god. Ronan, she needs more of a bust. Maybe. Ooh, blue mirror jacket. Hell yeah. Stream is scientific today. Oh, it was way more scientific earlier. She could be like a squid. Yes. Yes. Almost literally wearing her heart on her sleeve. I like that. Oh, and that's actually a really good idea. Okay, I'm not gonna just scribble in a realistic heart. I'm just gonna draw a heart for now. I really like that. No bust equals tomboy minus with bust equals married? Fixie bike and some glasses with only the frame for her huge eye. I'm totally lost now. She doesn't have one big eye. It's just a blindfold. The intention certainly isn't that it's one big eye. Let's make these little finger pads glow. Oh wow. I guess more light inside these sleeves. So it's the part of the same jacket. Good, good, good. Same here. And then obviously white trainers. Sorry, I mean like the rims of the trainers are going to be white. Because that's just fashion, yo. Could have black trim on the bottom though. That heart is perfect. Aw, cute. You're ruining your headcanon. A good opportunity for some zine chin rendering. Exactly. I am going for something like that, I think. Like, it's not going to be textured in a photo-y way at all. It's going to have mostly sort of flattish shading. Or smooth, I think smooth shading is what I mean. There was a recent piece by Mondead Studio. Go on Mondead Studio. They have a lineup of some urban outfit chicks, and that's what I want to do. They are awesome. So cool. Eyes. I love Yoshinari and his abuse of the bounce line in the shadows. I like how you put it. Bumsky's a beast. Yep, they are excellent. Really, really excellent. Really, truly excellent. Alright, cool. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Alright, save that out. This is my brave exploration. Oh, oops. Got the ghost of the text there. Tomboys are the saviors of the universe. That heart is perfect. Blah 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 blah. I read those. Do I know of Catless Tale? I don't know Catless Tale. Please give me a link. Oh, so you get lost into drawing. Forgot to say thank you for the previous answer. Oh, no problems. No problems. I don't know what I answered. So, don't worry. Is what I mean. Alright, let's add it to the block out. What? Delete you. Delete you. Flip you. Shrink you. Alright, that might be it. Now it's time to go through from the beginning and start fixing all the characters that I'm not satisfied with. So, basically the original three have had the least love in terms of... Like, it kind of goes almost in order. The first one I design is going to be the one I change the most. This little boy needs some work. See you, Mario. I have already done some things to to Mischievous to make him feel a bit more mischievous. Nah, just to fix various things about his pose. Chef is the one that I really went over again and like refined, but there's still a ton of stuff that needs to be figured out. And then yeah, the leader of the first three, I did actually go through and think about a bit more what I wanted. And the simplistic finish also works quite well there, so there's not too much I want to change, but just strengthening their pose a little bit I think will help. And squeezing in a couple more ideas that I've had in terms of the how to represent their character. But I may need to make the eye closed here more obvious because their heads being an eye open and an eye closed, the whole point is that they're linked. They provide both sides of sight, insight and outward sight essentially. And together, they're unstoppable. I'll have a look at that. 100% of the aesthetics. Despite being furry, you might get some value from it. Have a great sense of fashion. I don't mind furry things a lot of the time. It's just there's like the specific and probably the most generic look of for characters that I'm not keen on. Generally. But the thing is, if it's then done really well, I'm just like, it looks really good. Doesn't matter if it's like this sort of odd face. I don't know. What size of canvas did I use? It's a big one. It is currently 8,000 wide, 4,500 tall. Actually, I thought it was a bit bigger, but that's currently what I have. What I'm going to do is maybe a similar size, maybe a bit smaller, 6,000 probably on the longest artist, for each character. I want to make sure that I give them room to have detail and stuff, and then this final image will probably be even bigger. The one I did for Food of Japan, that was like 16,000 pixels wide or something, because I just kept the full resolution of each character. I wanted to. Why not keep everything at its highest quality? Of course, I couldn't submit that image, but now I have that image, and it's nice. It's nice to have. Maybe I'll like print it out the size of a wall at some point. I could do the same thing with this lineup. An easy first again, because you didn't enter. You'll give you this one. You won't reveal your true power level. Thank you, dude. That's what I'm aiming for, so I'm really glad that you've stepped back, allowed me to have a chance. I appreciate it. I'm currently trying to use my highest power level. All my cards are on the table. I don't think I have anything left. No more hidden techniques. No more final forms. Yeah, actually, I feel like the wild should be facing out. I like how their tail flows into the image. That's the main reason I like it there, but having them like sort of nervously check around the group, I feel is actually more accurate to their position within the group, which is, you know, the one that basically has the best instincts. So is always prepared to react in the most useful or immediate way. And then I can put him there. Not entirely sure about the overlap there, but it's okay for now. But this is actually nice. I like big triangular compositions, so this now really feels like a triangular composition. It's just a big wedge on its side. Alright, cool. Right, so I was ignoring the chat. Good stuff though. Oh no, he's gonna use that! Hell yeah. Yeah, you still have the ultra instinct. Ooh. How much is language part of being a great concept artist? Thinking about considering things like wear your heart on your sleeve type of thing. So that's the part of... I know that it's gonna be judged by an English-speaking audience. Received mostly by an English-speaking audience and judged by a English-speaking board of judges. I'm potentially an advantage there because I can make use of phrases like that. But the other problem is, if I use those things, do I make my designs too hard to understand? Do they rely too much on language? Because essentially, I'm going to have to include language around these designs so that people can make the links, because otherwise, why does the leader have big hands? Well, the point is that you grasp an idea. That's the sort of point behind it, but it's about whether that is communicated, whether the feeling of that character is like, oh yeah, they're capable because they have big hands. I don't know. We'll see. In general, I don't think it matters too much because this is a challenge where it's all about going for like these sort of crazy out there designs, but most applications don't require this sort of level of, I guess, use of puns and linguistic depth, I suppose. I don't know. But of course, English being a universal language is very useful in most situations. So, yeah. I've always liked the head out look. Sort of an apathetic pose. Oh yeah, away from the group. I think it works well here because everyone else is kind of... Basically, everyone is looking forward, and then the animalistic, like the wild one, which is the least humanoid and least sort of standard within the group, they're looking away, and so's blind. But interestingly, the eye of their box is actually looking forward. But Brave doesn't... There's no point in them looking where they're going. They're using the leader for that insight. If anything, they're just concentrating. They're trying to concentrate on the world around them so they can decipher different signals. Like, how much do you have to be a writer as well as an artist for visual telling of ideas? No, writing is like about... In the same way that you have an idea and then you need fundamental skills to present the idea in a clear and good-looking visual, a writer does the same thing with ideas, except the medium they're working in is with words. So you don't need to be able to write at all, because writing is making nice sentences that read well. It's not about coming up with ideas. Both writers and concept artists need to be able to come up with ideas, and they just display them in different ways. So, no, you don't need to be good at writing, but it's a nice way to bolster the work you do. Like, just on an aesthetic level, you can read a little story about what's going on. But like, being able to write won't help you communicate a story in your image better. Having practice writing and looking at ways you can tell a story will help potentially give you new ideas that you could try and represent visually, but yeah, it won't help you represent those ideas visually. One thing I've noticed from a lot of great directors, mangas, and authors' interviews is how well they all seem to... how well read they all seem to be. So I think it's just good practice to inform yourself of everything. Yeah, like, the thing that I know stuff about, as plenty of stuff I don't know stuff about, but science is where I kind of have more knowledge than most. I really enjoy it, and so that's the thing I go back to a lot. Nothing to lose but being more knowledgeable. Become a polymath. Oh, that'd be great. I thought Esperanto was the universal language. Thanks. Hey Ruben. The books on visual narrative by Will Eisner are something I'd recommend to everyone. Cool. Are they also on the hentai galleries? Or does it not do literature? And Yo-Yo Ruben, what's Okay, this is it. This is the lineup. Cool. So I'm going to save this out. And I'm going to have to end the stream because I don't know if you can hear my stomach rumbling. You probably can't because I've installed the the noise suppression, the intelligent noise suppression. But my stomach's rumbling. And I'm sure it would be audible to the mic if it wasn't being suppressed away. I joined the competition entry too. Awesome. Yeah, I really like the compositions you'd put up on Discord. They were awesome. The one from the top looks the coolest. I think it maybe has some of that sense of mystery more as well because being, it feels like it's more like randomly placed, that box, rather than being like on an altar somewhere. And I think the idea of having it specifically on an altar or surrounded by pillars or something makes it feel a bit too organized. Like the mystery comes from finding something or discovering something that's been left and forgotten about. And like the altar feels maybe a little too organized. A bit too deliberate, like it has to be maintained and that kind of thing. That's why ruins are so good for implying mystery and stuff like that. Let's have a quick look and see who else is streaming right now. God damn! JP's doing a gorgeous looking painting. Let's rate them. Have I spelt that right? We will find out. Anyway, yeah, thank you so much for joining. Perhaps I will be back later, but I don't know. I might just chill and refine these designs. But it was excellent. Thank you for all of your help with ideas and for constantly giving me more reference to seek out and be inspired by. That's great. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.
TCK. OMG. Hoggies. Beauty is always in the eye. Thank you for the raid. Hello everyone. The best spot forever. How was your stream, TCK? Happy birthday. HUTSP0T. Feels birthday man. Happy birthday. TCK. Feels birthday man. Koya, will you put more guides on Patreon? I love your art so much, TCK. Yes, Sulyuri. I got the iPad Pro to create proper tutorials. Please share what you have been working on at TCK. Pog Raid. Pro Nice. Rib. Lel, you fast AF. How are you so fast? Happy face.
Oh my.
I have 262.5k peaches. Art Station Challenge. Hoggies. I don't see it. Hoggies. Happy birthday. Shinkily. Feels birthday man. This new emotes are so cool. So good. Peepo caught at TCK. Nice characters. What is the topic? Box of mystery. Oh wow. Oh. Is it for Trojan? It is a mystery. Ah, okay. Good luck. Your shapes are insane. I just imagined Peach eating in garlic. And the lines oof. So much detail. Them lines be. I actually scrolled through your whole Instagram gallery 2 days ago. TCKL will come to your stream next time. Because I wanted to understand how you got so good. And you have always put a lot of work into your art. That's what I noticed. Instagram? Yes. So have you, Kuya. Check out his Instagram. Yeah, but he puts like a lot of details into his artworks. TCK, don't you have Twitter? Rats. Did you post the art you wanted feedback on?
Oh my.
You should. Please do. Thigako, welcome. Happy birthday. Thigako. Feels birthday man. Yeah, Insta has been put so yes you should. Yeah, why don't you use Twitter? People retweet your work and that means exposure. At TCK same name on Insta? LOL. I heard 2 hashtags are best. Yes, you just do like the Burbs XD. Because it shares around whenever you retweet it. It shares around. Koya, I posted in Discord, take a look when you have time. THX a lot.